Today's story involves a mother. Her name is Aaliyah Wallace. Now, Aaliyah, she lives in Fort Worth, Texas. She has 4 kids, and she's living in government subsidized housing. I want to say all of her kids are girls. She's a single mother, and it could be a dangerous world for a single mother, especially if you're living in government subsidized housing. You should always protect yourself at all times, regardless of your economic situation. So December 14th, or the night of December 13th, going into the early morning hours of December 14th, 2023, 911 receives a call from Aaliyah Wallace. So police, they come to the location, and she explains to them that she believes that somebody tried to break into her house, and she's seen them, and so she called 911. Now, Aaliyah had previously called police to report a burglary in her home. Some shoes had been taken, right? Somebody stole some shoes. They might have stole some other miscellaneous things, but someone stole some Nikes. Okay. So the police, they shine their lights. They're looking around, and they don't see anything. Okay. So they said, well, they're gone. If you have any other problems, give us a call back. So a few hours later, Aaliyah calls back, but this time she calls back to let them know that not only did they try to break into her house again through the window, but she shot them. And if you need to find them, they'll be lying somewhere out there. They're I don't know. I shot them. At least I think I did. So the Fort Worth police, they come back to the area, and they see the window, and obviously it looks like it's been tampered with, and they discover somebody lying in like these bushes. And when they get closer, they see that it's a guy. He has been shot. But then when they turn him over, it's not a man. This looks like a kid. And that kid was Devin Baker, 14 years of age. So they call for paramedics. Paramedics take him to the hospital, where he would later die from his injuries. Now, Devin Baker was, I want to say he was in the 8th grade, and he went to Rosemont Middle School. I don't know if this kid had previous run-ins with the law that I could really find, but from what it appears, police doing their investigation, that this kid tried to break into Aaliyah's home, and she shot him. You got 4 girls and you're a single mother, right? You got to protect your house, of course. So they did an investigation, and they said that the shooting was justified. Now, what makes this story a little more interesting is the fact that Aaliyah, who was living in this government subsidized housing, was gonna be evicted. Why? Because there's a rule in the lease that if you live in government subsidized housing, you're not allowed to own a firearm. Well, at least that government subsidized housing. I don't know if all government subsidized housing, if that's a rule or not, but that one, you're not allowed to own a weapon, which I find absolutely ridiculous. I don't care if the government is paying 80% or 70% of your rent. You should be allowed to own a firearm if you are legally allowed to, just to protect yourself, because a lot of those places, not all of them, I've seen some decent government subsidized buildings, and they're not bad, but that's pretty rare. Usually the ones that I see got people hanging around, their pants are hanging below their knees, and nobody really seems to be doing a whole lot of nothing. So in North Texas, this story was all over the place, not because of her shooting this kid, but because she was getting thrown out for defending herself. So quickly, the housing authority got a lot of backlash from people and news agencies, like inquiring about why she why is she being punished? Because she protected herself from this kid who was going to break in and do God knows what. So eventually, the housing authority or whoever runs the joint, they quickly relented and allowed her to stay. But how the hell are you going to stay in a neighborhood like that when you shot and killed somebody? Now it's going to be kind of weird. And the mother of Devin Baker, you know, you oftentimes, you got these mothers who like, oh, my kid's an angel. My kid's an absolute angel. You know? She says, quote, I know my child and it doesn't add up. He had so many dreams and he was not a criminal. So based on what she said that he was not a criminal, I'm going to take her word for it that bare minimum, he doesn't have a criminal record, at least that she knows of, and he's never been arrested. But you also got to ask yourself, what the hell was your 14-year-old kid doing out at 3 a.m.? You're 14. I know at that age when you're a boy, you know, you're going to want to hang out with your friends, and it's, you know, it's almost Christmas time. I don't know. But what the hell are you doing out at 3 a.m.? Even if it is a Friday or a Saturday, what the hell are you doing out at 3 a.m.? And so, I mean, the mother tells the police that, you know, I ain't letting him out. He snuck out. So Aaliyah Wallace ends up moving out of the housing place, and, you know, so they probably got her housing somewhere else. And I'm pretty sure it's not in Fort Worth. I'm pretty sure she had to move probably on the other side of the Metroplex. Just, you know, listen, Aaliyah Wallace, she felt bad in the interview with the news. I mean, she didn't come across as like that she was heartless. I'm sure she feels terrible. I mean, but you don't know what's going on. You don't know if this is a 14-year-old kid trying to break into your house to steal some shoes, or still, you know, maybe they seen that you got something new. You know, like, it is Christmas time. Don't forget, he could be breaking into the apartment to steal Christmas presents. I don't know. He's living in government subsidizing housing as well. So you have, you know, poor people living in a community, and it's Christmas time. Theft is gonna probably go up because of that. And, you know, one of the coaches at the school where Devin attended, because he had just joined the basketball team. He had just completed his physical, and he was excited about wanting to join the basketball team. And I believe one of the coaches, or maybe the teachers at the school, well, he said that Devin was, you know, I'm not going to quote him, but he basically said Devin was a good kid, but, you know, he was just heading towards, he either said he was heading towards the wrong direction or he was misguided. It was one of those boilerplate terms basically saying, yeah, you know, you got potential. Yeah, everybody's a good kid. You got potential. Of course, you're young. You're still malleable. But also that leads me to believe that he was hanging around doing whatever, and the mother wasn't reining him in. And Devin's father, I don't know where he was at, but I know that the mother was either married to him or she had a fiance. So I don't know if he was, quote unquote, the man of the house. And I know she had other kids. But you gotta, you know, you gotta know what your kids are doing. You gotta know what your kids are doing. I know you have other kids, but you have to know what your son is up to. That's it. And if you can't be a parent like that, where you're making sure your kids aren't doing anything stupid, you might want to think about not having kids. You might want to think about it. Anyways, I feel bad for the kid, you know, 14, you know, breaking into people's houses. Yeah, not the thing to do, not the thing to do. So, I don't know. Anyways, I'm out of here. I'll catch up with you on the next video. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. I gotta go. Peace out.